Good morning, happy Monday, and welcome to the Seasons of Self-Actualization podcast. We are starting the day and this week off great by showing up, by being here. So I want to thank you so much for that, and I hope that being present here today will allow you to recenter and will help guide you throughout the rest of your week. If you would like, you can grab some water or a warm drink, and if you're multitasking, just keep doing your things. I just want to invite you to maybe get comfortable, maybe sit up straight. Yes, make sure to hydrate throughout this episode, but it's a quick one, so let's just jump into it. I would like to first start with a breathing technique that is actually designed to increase your inhale, exhale, and retention capacity to encourage mind-body alignment for the support of calmness and clarity. The technique is the 4-7-8. So you're gonna breathe in for 4 counts, you're gonna hold it for 7, you're gonna slowly exhale for 8. So I'll do it once with you, and then you can continue your best on your own while I read the affirmations for this week. So first you're gonna completely exhale through your mouth and then slowly breathe in for 4 counts. Hold for 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then breathe out through your mouth on a count of 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I'm going to read this affirmation to you. You can continue the breath work if you like, and just if you don't want to do the counts, that's also fine. Just do your thing, whatever makes you feel good. So the affirmation for this week is, I give myself permission to feel safe in my surroundings. I give myself permission to feel safe in my surroundings. Whatever is being brought up whenever I say that, let that be. Let that be. It's all good. Just repeat it one more time before we move on. I give myself permission to feel safe in my surroundings. Okay, so to jumpstart this first podcast episode, which I'm so excited about, by the way, we are tying it all into the relation of seasons, right? So it's the seasons of self-actualization. So this season, it is spring. And of course, when we think of spring, it might make us think of a few keywords like blooming, renewing, rebirth. And whenever I was thinking about the times in my life when I felt I had entered into a chapter that was like that, like just renewed, I always had some kind of new insight or clarity or perspective that led me to make more decisions that aligned with me better. And then I was just in a more aligned place. So it was in those moments for me that I truly felt aligned and renewed, as you will. So when I looked back at okay, how did I get those insights? It was usually when I had things and people around me that brought me energy. Whenever I was excited or stimulated by the aesthetic or the space that I had, a vibe of a certain place, there was just legit space for me to think and to feel good. So it was when I had the room and the space to breathe and focus. So it was in those places that I felt I was actually able to focus on the things that were going to align with me. And so today's topic is actually going to be your environment. So if you're anything like me, you've got a dream and it's big. And when you close your eyes, you can see it so clearly. You envision it. And when you allow yourself to, you see the details, what it could be like. And then when you open your eyes and you look around, you're confronted with how far away that feels. It's like your reality is not aligned with your deepest desires. I personally think that environment is one of the best things to look at and the first places to start when you are wanting to put in the effort into self-development and creating the life that you know you could have, the life you envision, whether that's like a certain version of yourself or whether it's the things you have around you, the people you have around you. It's all about environment. So to emphasize the significance of environment, I want to present this idea to you through a quote I heard. It goes, "When a flower doesn't bloom, you fix the environment in which it grows, not the flower." So whenever I say it like that, it like makes sense, right? But I have also had a point in my life where I got the feeling that it was me. Like, I don't have the life I dream about, or I'm not the person I want to be because I'm not good at this, or like I'm unlucky in this way, or my circumstances, they're bigger than me. And at that time in my life, I was so hopeless that I actually ended up leaving the country. I literally moved from America to Europe to get away from my life. And I had no idea that whenever I got out of my environment, that I would be able to breathe. Now, I am absolutely not telling you to leave the life you have behind, but I do hope to encourage you to think about the places in your life that you feel like you can't breathe, that you can't be yourself, that you don't have room to grow. So these places can stem from a lot of different things. It can be anywhere from your home environment, the space around you, maybe at your desk, like your work environment, could be your culture and value environment, it could be your social environment. This can be online, it can be offline, and even your sensory environment. So these are all different things that contribute directly to our mental health, to the decisions we make, and it is a really, really important aspect of personal development to look at where you are planted, to look at your environment. So the goal for this week for you is to question and evaluate these areas of your life. Try to identify what feelings do you get in certain spaces, what is being brought up, and possibly, if you can, what feelings would you like to have instead? So an example of this can be, let's say you go on to Instagram, you're on there for a few minutes, you might not even process like in the moment what is all happening, but then when you decide to click out of Instagram or you go and do something else, you feel a bit irritated. I get that sometimes. I'm just like, I'm irritated, and maybe I hadn't even linked that things that I was seeing on Instagram are being processed in a way for me where I'm ending up comparing myself, or like something somebody said kind of sparked something in me, triggered something in me, like negative emotions, and I don't even have the time to process what has happened before I move into the next thing. So the thing I want to point out in this situation is your social environment, your online social media environment. So I had a phase in my life where I started to notice that this was happening a lot on Instagram, and whenever I put the attention there and I zoomed in a little bit on the post and how it made me feel, or like every time I saw this person's name, how did that make me feel? And if it was negative, I started to question, like, why am I actually following this person? Like, yeah, we went to high school together. Like, yeah, I knew them. Or like, yeah, I talked to them. But like, do I have a loyalty to this person so much so that I'm going to have things that they say influence me on a day-to-day basis, and maybe even to an extent that I'm not even aware of it? So give yourself permission this week to notice dissatisfaction and unhelpful things in your environment. If it's possible, after the acknowledgement that it's there, to make a tiny change, like for example, unfollowing that account, feel free to do so. But remember, the goal for this week is actually to just create the awareness and the space for the potential of your environment to support you. So, to follow through on this goal for this week, I'm going to invite you to set a reminder in your phone. It's going to be a daily one. It's going to be one that you will see maybe whenever you check your phone for the first time in the morning, whatever that is for you, or maybe in the middle of the day or during your lunch break, whatever works for you. Type in this reminder: how do I feel where I'm at right now? Set this for a daily thing at the same time every day. So today is Monday, so do it from today, Monday, through next week, Sunday. Every day, have that check-in. If it's possible for you, type it in your notes somewhere. Just pin a note that says environment. Put it in your notes. How do I feel where I'm at right now? Answer that question every day, no matter where you are. And if you can think of it more, or if you notice it more, if you create any kind of awareness, or you have any new thoughts around your environment and how you're feeling this week, I want you to type it in your notes. I also want you to leave a comment down below right now saying that you set this reminder. I want you to be accountable to yourself. You're setting this reminder. You're just gonna think about it this week. You're gonna allow yourself to notice in your home, online, at work, when you're irritated, when you're upset, when you are feeling things that you don't even know the words to describe the feelings you're feeling. I want you to observe. And I want to end this first episode by celebrating you for investing time in yourself today. Whether you look at it that way or not, whether you realize it or not, you have consciously chosen to invest something in yourself, and I so see it. I acknowledge you and I celebrate you in this small win. So I would like to thank you once again for being here and for tuning in to today's episode. I am so excited to be filming these every single week for you. They will be posted every Monday at 6 a.m. Central European Time. I can't wait to hear from you in the comments and to talk about everything that you will have experienced this week in the next episode. See you soon.